Welcome to SubscriberNation.com, where you'll meet the creators behind amazing online video channels, sharing their stories, inspiration, and hottest tips, and helping you learn from their success. Hello, Subscriber Nation. I've got an exciting video coming at you from Down Under. Gideon Shalwick from Brisbane, Australia is joining us. Gideon, can you tell us a little bit about what you do and about your channel on YouTube?
Hi, Brighton. Thanks for having me on the call. My channel is all about helping people with YouTube and specifically using YouTube to help grow their businesses. So looking at helping people set up the YouTube channel, get views from that, and then drive those views to their online assets like their online web pages or products and services that they'd like to sell online.
Very good. I like it. Maybe you could just tell us quickly, how did you get started in this? I noticed your YouTube videos are going back at least 4 years on your channel. So when did you start, and what did that look like?
Okay, so on my channel, it only goes back about 4 years, but I started quite a bit before that. I started online about 8 or 9 years ago. I started by writing a book and selling it online. This was back in 2006, and it was just an ebook back then. That's how I got online. But I very quickly realized that just by having a book and trying to sell one book, it's not really a business. So I needed to figure out how to create a real business online. And part of that was trying to figure out the traffic thing. And really that's how I stumbled on YouTube. This was a long time ago, and started playing around with YouTube and thinking about YouTube as a real good traffic source for my channel, but also for my business. And so I tried a few projects. Actually, before I tried YouTube, I tried another business in the blogging world. Everything was done on video. We used Blip.tv back then for streaming our videos. And before we even launched our paid product, we had, 300,000 or 400,000 views on those videos that I created. So I knew there was something to do with video that would help us. But then later on, I did go into YouTube and I wanted to create a case study. I teamed up with a local magician and we created a channel together doing magic tricks. And that went really, really well. I think that channel is now, if not the number one of the top magic channels in the world, especially when it comes to street magic and free magic tricks. I think over around about 220,000 subscribers for that channel now. So it's going really well and millions of views. And so I guess since then I've been, working at helping other people doing similar sort of things for their businesses. But also I've been, moving into other businesses as well, where it's more looking at the product and service side of the video marketing industry.
Well, I think outside of the magician being an inspiration, maybe you could tell us just one way that you draw inspiration. I get a lot of my inspiration from my audience, a lot of energy that I get from my audience, in fact, and often when it comes to ideas as it relates to inspiration, that also does come from my audience a lot. And I found whenever I cover topics that my audience is really interested in, that helps a lot. So that's one source of inspiration. Another source, I guess, is from the unknown or the ether. I'm not sure what you want to call that, but often in the shower, I'd be getting ideas, for coming up with video content, or some of my best business ideas is when I'm in the shower. I hear that so often. I think it's a good reason to shower every day. It's just for the ideas.
Right. Now, I think it's just one of those places where you're removed from all other distractions. You can't do anything other than, well, have a shower, obviously, but also think. When you're in front of your computer, there's a lot of distraction. When you're outside in the world, there's a lot of distraction. So I've often found, taking a shower, but also going for a swim, being underwater where there's no distraction, you can certainly come up with some pretty cool ideas.
How about a time that you learned from a mistake?
I've made a lot of mistakes. I guess one key mistake that I made early on was in the targeting for my audience. I think it's so easy as an entrepreneur to come up with an idea that you yourself get very excited about, but there might not be an audience for it, or no one else might think it's a good idea. And so audience selection is just critical. And for one of the first projects I did, we just targeted a totally wrong audience. There were a lot of them, but they just didn't have any way to pay us for the product that we released a bit later on. So since then, I've been a bit more careful with how I select my audiences, especially on YouTube, and making sure that
my ultimate goal really aligns with the audience, and that those two come together in a really nice way.
Very good. Well, maybe you could tell us about one piece of equipment that you just can't live without.
Definitely my MacBook Pro, or before that was my MacBook Air. Basically a little computer that I can carry with me whenever I'm traveling. What I love about the MacBook Pro is a little bit more powerful. I actually run all my live events from it as well. But I mean, it's just my way for creating content, my way for communicating online. I mean, I actually work from home, but my team is all around the world. My audience is all around the world, and most of it's done through my little MacBook Pro, which is pretty cool.
Very cool. Well, why don't we transition now to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is money. It's very exciting to see that you're using YouTube to make money, and that this is successful, because there's a lot of people out there who want to use YouTube to make money. And the first thing they do is they turn on the ads. And that's not necessarily the best way to make money, except for a small percentage of YouTubers can do that. So maybe you can tell us about how you are making money. You kind of hinted at it already, but maybe you could talk a little bit more about how you specifically make money with your YouTube channel.
All right. So what we found with turning on monetization, so this is where you turn the ads on for your videos, for those who don't know, we generally found that we would only make about 1/10 of the total income of what we'd make for the business. So if you're only making money from video ads, in other words, you're possibly leaving 10 times as much money on the table of money that you could potentially be making. Of course, if you're getting a lot of views and a lot of traffic, you can make a significant income just from the from video ads and monetizing your videos. But there's more to it than that. The way I look at YouTube really is as a twofold thing. Firstly, for building an audience, and secondly, for building a relationship with that audience. And when you think about it, when you really start analyzing it, those are the two most important things for having a successful business. If you don't have an audience and you don't have trust with that audience, it doesn't matter how many offers you make to that audience, they're not going to buy. So it's very, I think that's where YouTube is so cool. So I use YouTube for building the audience, building a relationship with them, and then directing that traffic back to my own online assets, things like my own products and services. I've got two other businesses as well. One is a video production kind of business where we create little video intros for people and video outros and lower thirds, this sort of thing. So I often use my YouTube channel to drive traffic to that business. And I've just released another business that helps people with video ads. So I drive traffic to that business using my YouTube channel as well. And so because I have an audience, an existing audience there on YouTube, and a really good relationship with them, people are much more likely to go and visit these websites and to do business with me on these other websites as a result.
That's great. That's definitely a way I see many people being able to use YouTube, even without a large YouTube audience. And I think you've kind of hinted already at what I think your answer to the next questions is, but what's next for you?
Well, what's next at the moment is me focusing on the latest business, which is the one that helps people with video advertising on YouTube. It's a business called V-Roll, and the focus there is to help people really just make it work. And I think a lot of people they know about it, they've seen it, and they're just not quite sure how to make it work for themselves. And so we figured out a way to make that quick and easy, and also just to help people get results. Help people get the clicks and from these video ads and drive them to their own websites or wherever they want to, for that matter.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to wrap things up here, but maybe you could tell the audience how they can find you.
Probably the best is to go to my personal website or on YouTube, GideonShalwick.com, or my YouTube channel is Gideon Shalwick. And if you want to find out more about the video advertising stuff, that's at VRoll.com, so VEEROLL.com.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Gideon, for taking some time out of your schedule today. And Subscriber Nation, we will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Now it's your turn. Let everyone know what you learned today in the comment section at subscribernation.com, where you'll also find more hot tips and resources. And if you aren't already a Subscriber Nation subscriber, click here. Click here to find another interview, or here to see more from today's guest.
Hi, I'm Shauna Angel Blue from Shauna of the Star, and next week I'm going to be on Subscriber Nation.